These videos are not for children. Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man is the newest Spider-Man show on the market. It's debuted sometime during the 2020s, either 2022 to 2024, I think. Sometime around that time period on Disney+. This was a Spider-Man show I've been avoiding for a few reasons. One, the discourse surrounding it. The show features race swaps and gender swaps, and of course it led to this whole woke, anti-woke debate, which I am so tired of. Like, every time a new superhero project comes out, it is always those two things, or people being called LARPs, fake fans, and tourists, whatever the fuck those words are. And second, and more importantly to me, Spider-Man media around this time period and even nowadays have just been pissing me off and putting me off, mainly because even though this is supposed to be a superhero franchise, it's not really a superhero franchise like that in the recent comics. Instead, the superhero stuff took a backseat to focus on the non-existent relationship between the biggest simp ever made, a serial cheater, and a big titty burglar. Listen, I love Black Cat to death, and I get Mary Jane isn't an iconic character, but still at the same time, to just completely ignore the superhero aspect that this series is based on to focus on generic romance melodrama is something I will never not understand. Like, seriously, it would be one thing if it was well written, but it's not. Like, seriously, like, Spider-Man comics go like this nowadays. Peter Parker goes on there with Mary Jane, or like he tries to get with Mary Jane. He goes on there with Black Cat. He gawks and eyes Black Cat's big fat titties. He asks Black Cat or Mary Jane to be his girlfriend. Mary Jane and Black Cat aren't interested, so Peter needs to continue chasing after them. What is the fucking purpose of these new comics or these relationships? Like 30-something years of no progress or anything like that. And I was just worried about Friendly Neighborhood being the same thing. Because no one gives a shit about the romance soap opera shit. It's boring. And second, I just didn't want to see Peter Parker in high school again. Because we've been seeing Peter Parker in high school all the time in these shows. The only exception being the 90s series. But then I decided to watch it myself starting this Monday. And I gotta say, I don't understand why people said this show was bad. Like, I heard it was bad, but no, it's the complete opposite, actually. But before we talk about what I love, let's go through the quick synopsis. In the alternate timeline, the Tom Holland MCU films, Peter Parker is being driven to school by Aunt May Adams in the bus. They get to school, however, on the first day, a symbiote appears and engages in a fight with Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange manages to capture the symbiote and drag it back to his dimension. However, while doing so, a radioactive spider that was escaping from the dimension falls on Peter and bites him, and thus he turns into Spider-Man. 6 months later, he begins his first day as Spider-Man, and during which he saves an influencer named Harry Osborn from a gang of muggers. Peter Parker later gets meted with by Norman Osborn, the owner and CEO of Oscorp, and the father Harry Osborn, who found out that Peter Parker was Spider-Man via one of his hidden security cameras in the Oscorp laboratory. And because Peter saved the life of Harry, Norman offers him not only a job at Oscorp, but he also upgrades his tech and helps him out with superhero stuff, helping him watch supervillains and monitor the city while they catch monsters and fight crime. It's a pretty simple premise and a recreation of Spider-Man format. But one thing I love most about this show, we actually go back to the basic premise of Spider-Man. Peter, Norman, and Harry teaming up to hunt down monsters and supervillains and fight crime, which is exactly what I needed. Peter getting new equipment too, all throughout, starting with a homemade suit, going to the anti-venom suit, and then getting his classic costume is so nice to see. And I loved it so much. Norman tutoring Peter instead of Iron Man, since he didn't meet Iron Man yet. Although he is mentioned with the other adventures and seen on a missing photo or something like that. Norman Osborn actually knows it redeemable, but he's not the Green Goblin yet, so since he's not the Green Goblin yet, hasn't done anything wrong, I can actually buy him being Peter's mentor. But I am just so glad that we went back to this damn premise. like, I know it seems small, a Spider-Man show that's actually about superheroing, but when you're stuck with this shitty romance drama for so long, it's so refreshing. And the other cast is so cool too. Peter Parker has a babysitter named Kathy who he has a crush on, tries to act out, but she's the ex-girlfriend of Lonnie Lincoln, who I will get to right now. Lonnie Lincoln is Peter's best friend here and the star quarterback at school. How despite that, he gets racially profiled by the police, and it gets worse when his little brother is caught in a gang called the 110th Gang. Lonnie Lincoln eventually ends up having to join the gang in order to save his little brother, and eventually at the end of the series, he gets the powers of super strength. Lonnie Lincoln in the comics is a real name of the supervillain Tombstone, who is a supervillain and crime boss who, alongside Kingpin, is responsible for creating a majority of the villains in the books. And he's a really good friend of Peter here, is actually a good guy. It's actually really sad now that he has the powers, he's going to become Tombstone, because you don't want to see him and Peter fight. He's legitimately just a good dude that's fucked over by life. Aunt May is still in the series too, and she cares for Peter, although one problem I have is the fucking mortgage of her. Okay, one thing I hate about Spider-Man comics is how Peter and Aunt May never have any money. They're always late on bills. They're always getting evicted. I get it's supposed to be relatable, but why do these niggas not have any money ever? Like, bruh, this house as fine as it is, as big as it is. Thankfully's not in the show that much because I'm so tired of it. My favorite new addition to the show has to be Nika. Nika is Peter's best friend in the series, and he met her when he turned into Spider-Man, and she saved him after he passed out. In the comics, she's a sorcerer who does witchcraft, and she practices witchcraft in the series, so they're developing her powers too. And I'm not gonna lie, even though I'm a Spider-Cat shipper, I do want to see Nika and Peter get together in the series. And it's so refreshing seeing Peter talk to a woman without going, oh my god, has boobs, dear god. Like, he just talks to her like a normal person and they hang out together as friends. It's so damn refreshing to see. Top of that, you also got some cool villains in this series too. Matt Murdock appears as Daredevil, and Peter and Daredevil have a really good partnership in the comics. At first, Daredevil appears as an enemy, but later on, he finds out that Peter isn't really that bad of a dude, and Peter finds the same way, so they team up. I do want to see more Daredevil and Peter's team up, because their teams are always fun. Otto Octavius is Norman's main rival, where he's an egotistical maniac who wants validation and thinks that his name should be at the top of the greatest of the greats, alongside Norman Osborn and Tony Stark. He has his tentacles, but they're not combined to him yet, and he does have the name Dr. Octopus. He sells illegal weapons to the villains so he can make a profit. The main antagonist of the series alongside Otto is Scorpion, who is going to be the main villain in Brand New Day from the looks of the trailer since he has a suit. And I'm so glad that Scorpion is being used. Rather than the standard Venom or Green Goblin, which are overused to hell and back, we still have one of Spider-Man's top 3 arch nemesis, but a villain that is usually sidelined, not getting that much attention. So to see Scorpion here and see him in Brand New Day, it's a really nice turn. I really like it. The show may not be for everybody, but to me, this is such a much needed breath of fresh air. Starting on a clean slate for Spider-Man, going back to basics, no shitty romance drama, no nothing like that. Just Peter Parker being a superhero and kicking ass, as originally intended, is definitely something I needed, and I am desperate for season 2. Also, that song in the beginning is kick ass. Please make a remix of it.